Hello. Today is February 7th, 2018, and it is the 24th anniversary for me becoming injured. I was injured 1994, February 7th, and I was 21. Now I'm 45. We'll keep that between us. It's a weird time, this time of year, each year, when my injury anniversary, for want of a better phrase, comes around. It's a type of grief that I always feel 365, not just around this time of year. But there's a part of me that I've come to accept that will always grieve for the, I'm going to say person, but for the person that I was when I was able-bodied before I became injured. But I want to be very careful because I want to send the right message to other people that are injured or disabled or ill in some way, shape, or form, and they have to go through some type of anniversary or some type of something where they lost something that they're not going to get back. And in my lifetime, I don't expect to get out of my wheelchair, and that's fine. That part is okay. My wheelchair, my disability, doesn't define who I am. So I didn't go from being 21 years old and a certain type of person, and 12 seconds later, because that's how long it takes to become paralyzed, approximately once you break your neck, I became this other person. That's not what happened, and not what happens to me. And the folks I've talked to that have similar injuries like mine, they say the same thing. So I'm going to just take kind of an educated guess and say that's just pretty much the way people feel. But you don't want to let your injury define who you are. I am not about being in a wheelchair. The first thing I don't want to think of myself and others, oh, Amy Alexander, oh yeah, she's in a wheelchair and she does this, this, and this. Just like you wouldn't want to be known for, oh, a great actress. Okay, well, oh, she's got the best haircut. You know, you want to look at your abilities and your gifts and your talents. But I would be a fool to say that living with a disability hasn't had an effect on who I've grown to be. I mean, I'm a good person. I was raised to know what the difference is between right and wrong. My father was very much told us to always remember that there is something to be said for doing the right thing, whether it's a popular thing or not, hardworking, all of those attributes we were brought up with. But I don't know who I would be at 45 years old if I wasn't injured. Would I be doing what I do now, which is I'm an author, a published author. I've created goal setting courses. One is an entire year. It's fantastic. I'm really proud of it. I use it myself. And other things that I create that are all about moving forward in life and living the life that we want to live and try to get over these obstacles that get us. Would I be doing that? Maybe. Maybe I would, or maybe I would be doing something different. But as part of me, as I said in the beginning, is sad or just a little bit of grief all throughout the year. This time of year is challenging, and I wanted to share my feelings because I know there are other people out there that, again, are injured, are sick, are living with a disability, whether they were born with it, whether they got sick and now they're disabled because they had to lose a limb or had a brain injury. Anything that's altered your life in a physical way, altered it in a big way, and it was a kind of a catastrophic event that took place to do so. It doesn't have to be who you are. It doesn't have to be what your life is about. You are whoever you are, as far as what you like, as far as what you desire, as far as what you're passionate about, as far as what you want out of life, as far as what your opinions are, what your likes are, what your dislikes are. That's all you. So don't let yourself or others limit you to, well, you can't, that's the word, can't do this because you're in a wheelchair or you have a disability or whatever. And focus on, well, if I wasn't disabled, if I hadn't gotten injured when I was 21, or if I wasn't born with this disability, or if I hadn't come down with this disease, or if I didn't get this traumatic brain injury, whatever is out there, plethora of things that can make a person disabled, permanently disabled. Don't let that be who you are, because that's really, I find, when I focus on that, or when I find myself stuck in that little space, it's not a good place to be. And it can very easily become a larger space. And again, I will always grieve for the loss that I suffered, because it was a very grave loss. You lose the power of your physical motion, and a lot goes along with that in family dynamics, in marriage, and affects your finances, affects your where you live, where you can live, what your needs are. It affects everything in your life, but it doesn't have to be your life. So if you're out there, and when whatever anniversary you have comes around and it's not the most pleasant of anniversaries, just remind yourself of all that you've created and how far you've come since, let's call it, ground zero. My ground zero was when I got cracked in the back of the neck when I was 21 years old in a car accident. And I start from there. And when I look at that to where I am now, I'm like, wow, baby, you've come a long way. So look at it like that. Look at yourself like that, regardless if you were injured or became disabled during your life, or whether you were born with a disability. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. And remember, everybody has wheelchairs or prosthetic limbs. Some are just easier to see than others. So I hope you are having a fabulous rest of the day, evening, wherever you are. And I'm going to sign off, and I'll see you again really soon. Take care.